let's play Control. So I forgot to record and we just got a new power. We went through the training course, we found the save. I'm sorry, I have even my little note that says, did you push record? And I did not. I had one conversation with Simon, but we can kind of repeat most of it. We also found something out about the formation, which is a DLC, but I will play that after I played the main line. And we're currently doing a little bit of side missions and exploration because now we can float. And that is cool. And we just found this document after I found this new talent or found the save. So let's read this. A Holiday Memories brand white plastic tree with green plastic stand. We saw that in the containment sector, by the way. The item repeats words and phrases spoken within a range of feet, always in the tone below. This verbal mimicry has profoundly distressing effects on the individual it is copying. That's kind of like what the hiss does, in a weird way. Oh no, but it repeats it. That's like an annoying little kid. The item was taken from a Canadian research station established on Ross Island in Antarctica, where it was used to celebrate the holiday season. In 1979, solar radiation damaged the radios, severing the base's only means of communication with the world. After the frozen passages opened, a military expedition visited the base to re-establish contact. They found the base's occupants in various states of madness, rambling about voices in the tree. Military personnel discovered they also heard the tree speaking. After locking the item in a supply crate, they brought it back to the mainland, at which point the Bureau intervened. I can't believe... Oh wait, what's the other one? Home safe. Ah, there. The object is a guardhouse brand home safe. Weight measurements vary. When bound, the object allows para-utilitarians to telekinetically gather items and debris from the surroundings. So this is to protect us from like shootings and stuff like that. Discovered in the basement of a home in Ohio, the object gained rapid interest in certain online forums dedicated to opening abandoned safes. After months of failure, the owner attempted to open it with explosives. The object survived with no physical damage. Bureau agents were dispatched, now confident of its paranatural nature. Blood occasionally emerges from seams around the object's door. Tests confirm the blood is not human. Ew! X-rays taken of the object... What kind of blood is it? X-rays taken of the object indicate that something is trapped inside, though the images are always blurred, which indicates the contents of the object are moving. All attempts to open the object have been unsuccessful. Why would you want to open this? This is not something I would want to open. This is super creepy. Yeah, I'm so sorry I keep forgetting to record. But I'm kind of happy that this happened, fortunately, with a section that was not super relevant to the main story, because that would have really been super annoying. So here, this is so cool, and we can even fly with that, and this is so cool. Okay. Alrighty, so let's leave now. So we did that. And oh yeah, we're on our way to so Simon used to be a ranger. This is new information. And he's on the lookout for some of his former ranger buddies who have been missing. They didn't get any HRAs from Darling. And so he's kind of super concerned. Wait, where do I have to? So we have to go to the NSC energy converters. NSC coolant pumps, Black Rock Quarry, ventilation, Black Rock processing. Don't know why I said it in this weird way. Oh no, what's that? Oh, there. Okay. Oh no! 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 Shit! Oh, fuck. I should have used the new power, but I always forget it. Wait, we found one document. I will read that out. Television proposal. Based on the success of America Overnight, we would like to propose the creation of a television series that presents superstition and skeptical thought as entertainment in order to popularize these concepts among the civilian population and create less resistance to redirecting information regarding public paranatural events. We can also use a solid media outlet to test paranatural concepts on civilian audiences, seeing how they react to certain facts presented as fiction in the event that the Bureau ever decides to make certain realities public knowledge. I can't wait until the Bureau is finally like, yes, creepy floppy disks exist. There are various show licenses that we could purchase and reboot rather than starting from scratch. Sounded a bit Canadian there. One particular property seems promising, especially considering its content and tone are precisely what we're looking for. It's called Night Springs and has been off the air for a few years now. So in case you don't know, Night Springs is the Twilight Zone version of Alan Wake. Yeah, okay. Oh, but what's that? Ah!
Reminder. If the contents of your workspace have been rearranged, removed, added to, or altered in any other way, you should immediately leave the area while speaking to yourself in a reassuring tone.
What?
This will not only keep you calm, but also the room. Thank you for your attention.
That's what I'm doing all the time. When I'm doing the Let's Plays for you, I would just talk to myself in a reassuring tone. No, usually I'm really panicky. Like, what's going on? I think there's a better and easier way to go to Black Rock Processing. I feel like I'm really going the completely wrong way. Oh yeah, I'm in the Atlas Chamber now. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh! Oh no no no! Oh shit! Oh my god, it's chaos! It is chaos.
Ranger buddies.
Okay.
I should find the others.
Oh boy. I think this can't be a long episode because I'm flailing. I think there was something here that I could reach once I could float. We're all floating down here. Wait, what? Oh shit!
Couch for Arish.
Oof! Holy moly! I did not think that someone would be here, but okay. So what I meant was this. Look at this. Yes. Ooh, surfboard supplement. What? Interview with custodian after theft of AI-43. Guru surfboard. After touching the item, what did you experience? I experienced confidence, cranked all the way up. I wanted to become somebody, an artist, a stock trader. So it's like coke. How did these feelings manifest externally? Don't know. If I'd gotten out there to the city, I'd have done so many things. Made my fortune, gone out, and owned the world. That shit was mine. I would have taken it all. Money, fame, women. You also experienced an increased sex drive? Yes, increased everything. I've been cleaning shit for you people long enough. I'm going out on a fucking conquest. Would you say you're still under the effects of the object? Who the fuck are you to keep me in here? I'm worth 4 of you, you suit-wearing piece of shit. 20. The Bureau appreciates your candor. You're no longer required. I'm fucking remember the name. End of relevant portion. I love that joke. I'm blah blah blah. Fucking remember the name and it's blacked out. So there's a surfboard that makes you feel like you just did a line of coke, I guess. Interesting. Oh, we can do something fun here because we're nearly there anyways. Look, we're going to have an Assassin's Creed moment. Aren't you excited? Isn't that amazing? Look at that. Oh yeah. Yeah. But we can't jump down like in Assassin's Creed, so. Also, what's that? Just a nice, cozy fire. Is there something in there, or is that just a normal fire? I don't know. I don't even see it.
Another old squad made of Arish's.
I think I know. Yeah. Is it still there? Yeah, shit. Oh, fuck. Okay, where is it? I did not see where it went. Oh, there. There. Come on. Oh shit! I'm nearly dead. Fuck. Oh shit. God. Ew. What was that sound? Is that you? That's new. I did not know that it could make this sound.
Just like Arish said.
That was so close. Damn, that was close. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Oh shit, that did backfire a lot. Oh man. Shit, why did I do that? I hurt myself. Hi, Artie.
They are very good. You need to scrub that clean or they won't.
I love it. It's total mayhem, and Artie's like, God, scrub that clean. Oh my god, I did not hit you at all.
Didn't stand a chance without HRAs.
Oof. Okay, yeah, let's collect some health. So I just got also some side missions for Marty, I think. Oh hey, I didn't know there were some other people here. Just imagine there's someone in there. Someone who looks like a human, but is not apparently. Man, that concept, I love that. I love that. And just to have it somewhere in the background, not really, just to have it somehow be so hidden.
All of them. Arish saw it coming, though. I should get these back to him. Here are the pouches. I found 6.
Aww.
That's all of them. Counting mine.
Oh, poor Simon.
Well, I guess I'll just have to wear all of them. It sounds sappy, I know, but... well, it's all I can think to do.
Nothing's easy with the hiss. Is it rude to ask what's inside? What's inside the pouches? Too late now.
Well, the story's confidential, but, well, I guess I can tell you, being the director and all. So, the Bureau had heard rumors of a werewolf gathering upstate every full moon. Us being rookies, they sent us to confirm it was bullshit.
Hold on, is he about to tell me werewolves are real?
Turns out, there was an altered item that was creating violent gravitational anomalies during full moons. Oh, man, we nearly made it that night. Well, to remember the occasion, we all bought silver bullets to wear around our necks, just in case we ever ran into another werewolf.
So why did you leave the Rangers?
Thought I could do more good here. And somebody's got to protect the people who protect everybody else, right?
Aww. I'm kind of sad from Salvador is gone, his friends are gone. Like, poor Simon. At least he still has Artie. They're apparently good friends. Okay, so now we'll have that conversation again.
What's the deal with BlackRock?
Oh, fuck. Don't get me started on BlackRock. You know, ever since research found out that it blocks paranatural stuff, they have just been parading dangerous materials in and out of the fucking quarry. Fucking lab coats, man. Love making my job harder.
Sounds like there's some tension between
I
departments.
want to know more.
Still, at least the quarry's got a good view of the night sky. You know, me and Salvador used to have after-work beers down there.
God damn it, everything's sad about you, Simon.
What do you know about Dr. Darling?
Is he single?
About as much as anybody, I guess. Head of research, loves to hear himself talk. All of those science types absolutely do. He's been acting a little bit psycho recently. Although HR told me not to use that word, so...
Everyone thinks finding Darling will lead us to the answers. But if he's completely lost it, then what help could he be?
I mean, Jesse, you thought Dylan would be any help, and... yeah, it's not really... I don't know.
You're security, right? Do you work with Rangers?
Not often. Rangers are specially trained in threshold reconnaissance and ground zero AWE response, Security is more interested in the dangers inside the Bureau.
They must see some weird stuff out there.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, every week they are tackling things that were previously unknown to the human experience. Most Rangers, they retire due to cognitive collapse. I looked up the medical definition. Not fun.
I like that idea, that it's not they retire because they're physically hurt or whatever, but because the brain can't handle all the new things anymore. Because I actually think that's quite realistic. I mean, in the movies, you know, people get presented with the weirdest shit in science fiction and fantasy and horror, and they're just like, oh my god, well, let's get going then. And I think in reality, you would have a lot of weird coping mechanisms and just odd stuff. You know, where you basically do, I don't know how it's called in English, but Übersprungshandlung. So basically when you don't know what to do, so you do something really odd. That really doesn't help at all. You know, when you don't know whether you should do the fight or flight thing, and then instead you just sit there and play a video game. And I think realistically, you know, that would probably happen to a lot of people if, for example, zombies were actually real. That a lot of people would just refuse to acknowledge that. And we had that with the pandemic. A lot of people refuse to acknowledge that the pandemic is a thing, or that climate change is a thing, because I think it's too much. It's too big to handle. And now imagine something like there's an actual alien ship above us, you know, like an Independence Day or whatever. We would be able to be like, huh, cool, or oh my god. I think a lot of us would just completely, you know, our wires would probably just like burn out and we would not know what to do. Anyways.
How does the Bureau handle thresholds?
Handle might be a bit of an optimistic way to put it. Marshall sends her Rangers in to map them, check growth rates, locate epicenters, take samples, measure stuff, basically.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's done his homework.
Now, down in maintenance, thresholds are used just like any other tool. Lab coats mine black rock from one, maintenance siphons water from another. We use it for pretty much everything, except drinking.
Why don't you drink it? Do I even want to know?
Yeah, a lot of time we find these little chunks in it. It's pretty gross.
I didn't want to know.
Oh, okay. So when I heard that conversation earlier, I was like, why would they siphon water in the thresholds? What did I miss? But they use thresholds to get water somewhere. But apparently through the threshold something else gets in the water. And that is terrifying and cool. Okay, let's talk about Marshall.
What do you think of Marshall?
She's cool.
Marshall? Marshall's a fucking badass. Rangers could not ask for a better leader. She's a little, you know, intense, but given the stuff she's seen, I'm not surprised. She does have a bad habit of disappearing, though.
Where does she go?
Last time she vanished, I did some digging into the security logs. I found camera footage of her entering the quarry. She was down there alone for days. Now, typically that's not allowed, but Marshall is kind of above the rules.
I wonder what she finds so interesting in the quarry.
Also, we heard that a lot of people, you can't spend too much time in the quarry because otherwise bad things happen to you. But here's the thing, what you missed, unfortunately, because of my recording faux pas, is that the formation is basically somewhere around the quarry, so that it's the same environment. But, and you get to the formation due to the, with the jukebox. Wait a minute. So we got
to go.
Me too. You're not the only one who's busy.
Yeah, whatever. We got these tokens
We're gonna get through this.
to use this jukebox if we want to. We won't do that now. As I already said, we will do that after I finish the game. And then you can get to the formation. And apparently you can stay there as long as the song plays, and then you get kind of reverted back to wherever you started, probably here. But there have been people, they went missing in the formation a few days ago. So the song is already over, but they still went missing. And here's another thing. So the formation seems to be in the same place as the quarry, but they couldn't find a connection. But when Marshall spent so much time in the quarry, then maybe that's a sign that she actually found a connection to the quarry. That's just my 2 cents. Alrighty.
Good luck out there.
Sometimes you just gotta look at it because it's fantastic. Anyways, so I will stop this for now, but this will not stop the episode. I will just stop recording for now, and then I will switch back when I'm in a better mood, and then we can go and we can do Artie's tasks, which are so fun. I love Artie's tasks. So, yeah. So we found out a bit more about Simon, which was kind of super sad. Like, he lost a lot of people. I hope he's okay. He seems like the kind of person who's okay, but maybe he also seems like the kind of person who wouldn't really talk about it. So I think it was a nice touch that Jesse actually asked about the pouches, so he could talk a bit about it. You know, get it out. Anyways, yeah. See you for you in a few seconds. And I'm out. And we'll be back in short because of the magic of editing.
I have to go.
Me too. You're not the only one who's busy, you know.
Oh, Simon, never change. Alrighty, so we're continuing with episode 7 officially.
Talk to the plants.
Exactly. First we're going to do a mission from Artie, which is absolutely lovely. What a mess. Talk to the plants. Jesse helps Artie by speaking with the plants in Central Research in the research sector. So, and then we're finally going to look out for Dr. Underhill and see what she's
Small talk was
doing.
never really my strong suit. At least they can't talk back. I hope your day has been productive, little plant. That really works, huh?
I love this. This is so charming. I love it. It's beautiful. I hope we can do this in peace with no hiss interfering. I think sometimes with Artie's requests we kind of get spared the hiss. It's like he's looking out for us. But maybe not, because that looks like... yeah, shit. I was wrong. Get nothing done here. You get so that's why home office is so important, so you can get things done without being interrupted.
I hope those nasty hiss haven't been bothering you too much.
This is so cute. Also, it actually is true that there's plants, probably not all of them, but there's plants when you talk to them or when you play music to them that actually makes them happy and they are healthier. It's science, people.
I wish my leaves were as pretty as yours.
Aww. You're getting good at this, Jessie. Artie will be proud.
Do you have a family? I have a brother. I miss him a lot.
Aww. Well, I mean, he's there, but not really, is he?
They say I'm the director, but what does that mean? I have no experience in leadership roles. I have no on-the-job training.
I love how it evolved from, oh, this is awkward talking to plants and you have nice leaves, to, like, laying down all her problems and issues. Jesse, you're supposed to talk to the plants, but they're not your therapists.
Your chlorophyll really brings out the green in your leaves.
Yes.
That's all of them. But I kind of wish there were more. They're good listeners.
Okay, and now we're going to go down the creepy elevator shaft, to track Dr. Underhill. Alrighty. So I stick with my theory that the mold has nothing to do with the hiss. But what I was wondering was whether the mold used the fact that the hiss kind of weakened the old house and the influence of the board to also infiltrate the house. Because I think it's implied that it wasn't like this from the beginning on. I mean, they had offices here, so obviously, you know what I mean? Obviously, at some point, the mold was not as bad as it is now. So now the elevator works. Okay, good. Those noises! Very creepy. Because yeah, with the hiss, it's more the repeated words and sentences, and the mold is more monster-like, actually.
There, ma'am. Area's under quarantine. I wouldn't go in there without talking to Underhill first.
Yeah.
Even if you have, I still wouldn't go in.
Okay. Not the biggest fans of Dr. Underhill.
Excuse me? Are you lost?
No.
Do you normally barge into people's private workspaces?
She clearly doesn't know who she's talking to. Shouldn't you be in a safe room?
Why? Because of those hiss things the Rangers keep going on about. Haven't you people sorted that out yet? The situation down here could spell doom for the Bureau.
You mean this mold?
Correct. Perhaps you could help me. I require samples of various mold strains, and the mold has made the environment far too dangerous for me to fetch them myself.
Really? Mold samples? I thought this could spell doom.
It could, and it will, whoever you are. The mold is spreading. We need to find the source before it spreads too far.
Any samples will do that?
No. Samples of 5 unique strains, when blended properly, will allow you to travel deeper into the pit, where I've pinpointed the approximate location of the source of the mold.
Okay. So what do these samples look like?
Similar to the one on my table there. I've made a list of the samples I need. Here. You'll find them throughout the threshold.
I'll take a look. My name's Jessie, by the way.
I'm sure it is.
That is an amazing, horrible answer. I love it.
Have you worked with Emily Pope?
Our paths have crossed. Darling arranged for us to have a coffee. A meeting of the minds, he called it. She's talented. I can certainly see her doing well here.
I feel like there's a but coming.
But she's drunk a bit too much of the Bureau's proverbial Kool-Aid. She shouldn't be afraid to forge ahead on her own. Science is skepticism. Everything must be questioned before the truth can emerge.
I love her. Dr. Underhill is the kind of character who's like Dr. Darling, but I think less egocentric, like less showboating. She's more like, I do my stuff, leave me alone. And Dr. Darling is, I do my stuff, look at me. And I think Emily Pope is not as crass as Dr. Darling, but yeah, probably Dr. Underhill is more about the science itself and not even about the Bureau at all.
So is Darling your boss?
If you insist on clinging to such outdated hierarchies, then yes. However, I would argue that our fields are too dissimilar for one to manage the other. Of course, Darling would much prefer to find his own miracle solution to the Bureau's fungal frustrations. He always needs to be the hero.
Yeah, it feels like Underhill is not even about, I don't need to find, like, I want to find a solution, but not to be a hero, just to, out of curiosity.
So tell me again how you came to work at the Bureau?
Well, like I said, I was brought in as a special advisor. A temporary position, you see.
Did she say that?
Although that's not the whole truth. I was employed here for a time, straight out of university.
Oh.
After a decade of admittedly fascinating work in threshold research and regulation, I began to chafe under the bureaucracy. I needed a change. Not that academia was so different.
And then the mold happened.
About 4 months ago, yes. Since my departure from the Bureau, they hadn't been able to find my equal in threshold analysis. Darling and I had kept in touch over the years, meeting at conferences and the like. He called me, and I booked a flight. I've never been able to say no to a man with a dangerous alien biosphere. I had to leave my post in the middle of term, but so be it.
So she's a professor. That explains a lot.
Yeah, they're their own kind. But of course, you would leave university if you have something like this. So that means the mold is actually fairly new. Or maybe the extreme growths of the mold are fairly new.
The mold seems to be having some weird effects on things.
Indeed. Even people are susceptible. The fungus grows rapidly within the chest cavity, killing the host. Luckily, one must ingest the stalks to become infected.
Don't eat the mold. Okay.
We've always cremated the infected bodies after autopsy, but I believe there may be another stage of maturity. A blooming, if you will.
I never thought the word blooming would sound so horrible.
Oh, I know, because the horror loves this word. Okay, thank you, Dr. Underhill.
My pleasure.
Also, again, no one from the main development team of Control said that they liked Dr. Underhill as a character most, which I don't get, because she's amazing. Hedoraya, how is it going down there? Enjoying the mold so far? Settling back into life at the old FBC? I also wanted to ask how your coffee with Emily went. She's a star on the rise, incredibly bright, extremely intuitive. But I want to hear what you thought of her. I think you two could be very good on a project together, could learn a lot from each other. Let's get together and chat about it soon. I think the problem that Casper is having here is that Emily is so much younger than Dr. Underhill. So I think to think that they could become best friends immediately is kind of weird, because I think they're on different hierarchy levels, and that it plays a role. It plays a role. We don't want it, but it does. Anyway, sorry for the interruption. Why would you write that in a letter? I'm sure you can't think of anything besides the mold right now. You always were a woman of focus. I always admired that about you. Talk soon, Casper. Is that flirtingly, or is that just normal? Who knows? Anything more? Yeah, there's a lot to read here. Mold threshold. So you want to know how my mold research is getting on, Casper? Here it is. Microscopic organisms similar in appearance to construct the architecture of the mold. I do not understand if these are the original disseminators of the mold or are bitten by some fungal infection. Okay, so maybe the mold is an aberration. The mold is the most prolific and durable organism I've ever seen. I theorize there is a mold source located somewhere on our side of the threshold, rooted here to accelerate growth in our dimension. I refer to this yet unknown source as Mold 1. So it used to be somewhere else? Somewhere on our side of the threshold. So they got the mold from another side of the threshold, so the astral plane or whatever. The mold produces an enticing aroma to encourage human consumption of itself, so it smells tasty. It propagates in the chest cavity and quickly subsumes the entire body, seizing control of motor functions. This behavior was not observed when I first arrived, which means the mold has adapted to our presence, targeting our biological imperatives as a way to spread. It is a truly ingenious little thing. A full report will be ready soon. Keep your slacks on. It's like the hiss, but different, because the hiss also adapted to us. Humans are really super weak, aren't they? Dr. Darling's recently penned essay titled contains some glaring omissions that I feel I must shine a light on. Firstly, the entire premise of the essay is that the quarry threshold is beneficial to the Bureau, while the mold is actively hostile, to use his words. We cannot determine the worth of these dimensions and their life forms using bureaucratic definitions. Secondly, the mold is much more beneficial than some rock. if the creating the mold were reconfigured in the purpose, the structures they could build would rival the greatest skyscrapers. The mold's resistance to various strains of disease we've attempted to introduce could be derived into probably the medical field. Yes, admittedly, this application is more difficult than picking up a rock and gluing it to a wall, but I pause to wonder when the Bureau lost its eagerness for a challenge. Oi, 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 oi. So, Darling sees it only as a bad thing. I mean, obviously, because it hurts his people. And Dr. Underhill, because she doesn't care about people, is like, yeah, but it's also really cool, isn't it? That looks a bit like the Last of Us slides. And there's the yeah, that's disgusting. But apparently, it's just really, really tasty smelling. Alrighty, let's go.
This work won't finish itself.
It smells so sweet down here. Suddenly I'm really hungry. I wonder how this mold tastes.
No, 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 Jesse. No, no, no. I also wonder whether there's naturally people who can't or who don't think it smells tasty. Like there's picky eaters, and that's actually an evolutionary thing, that people don't really like certain tastes because it used to be dangerous to be too adventurous with tasting. Nowadays it only hinders people, but maybe there's also people that think that the mold like smells super disgustingly because they have different, you know, like senses of smell. Pink Flamingo. Agents noticed a transient commonly found outside the entrance of the Bureau headquarters would carry the item and loudly claimed to be responsible for the lack of inclement weather. The frequency of these claims attracted the personal interest of Dr. Darling. In interviews disguised as casual conversations, the transient reported that the item gives me clouds when it's hot and sun when it's not. An event of note occurred during a heavy downpour when the vagrant was witnessed performing a possible ritual with the item. Dr. Darling reported a wait of seconds before the rain stopped. The vagrant was seized the next day. After he was found to possess snow and was released. The item remains in Bureau custody under suspicion of altered status, though this still has not been proven. All known variations of identification formulas have failed to elicit a response from the item. Okay, so they found a homeless person who talked about stuff where they were like, "Ooh, that sounds like an altered item." Maybe the pink flamingo only works with that person. Okay. Oh, I hate this area. This is creepy. It's really creepy. Look there. Those things, those are really horrible. They basically throw like bio grenades. It's not fun. Ooh. Okay. Ooh. Anything? Oh, wow. Damn. Ugh. Oh, radio. Okay. Anything here to explore? Can I get up there? No. Okay. Oh god, I'm ruining everything. Okay. Oh! at them. Ew. They look so flabby. That's, I think, the worst thing about them. They look like they're wearing a fake skin, like in the first Man in Black movie. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Oh, the first one.
This must be one of the samples.
Ah, okay. Yeah, right. We were looking for we were looking for samples. Oh wait, what's that? Ooh, a hidden place. Cool, cool, cool. So this is also part of the mold? Or are these different? Is that a different flora coming from, like, being supported by the mold? Because, I mean, otherwise the mold has like multiple strains in a way. Okay, so grows near toilets, grows near televisions, grows near staircases. I mean, this is a staircase, isn't it? Aha! Nice.
Found one.
There we go. I don't like this area because there's so much going on and the mold is really good at hiding. It looks like its environment, which, I mean, obviously it's super smart. Oh. Anything here? Any monster? Such a big place also. Okay, here's toilets. This should be the place where the toilet fungus. Yeah, ew, inside of a toilet.
I was gonna owe me for this.
So we still have televisions and the pit. Okay. Anything to find here? Any documents? Something cool? Oh, there we go.
One of Underhill's samples.
Oh, is that the Threshold Kids? Yes. Let's join the Threshold Kids! Oh no! Topher!
Fixed. Building shifts occur at random and without warning, but with the Bureau's cutting-edge technology, we can stabilize the oldest house. Safe employees are happy employees. Certain rituals allow agents to navigate the oldest house as well, but accidents do happen. Trapping agents inside the walls. I heard you got stuck in your room for 3 days, Topher. Too bad you didn't have your book with you. Or any food. And remember, kids, when you feel the floor deviate, it's already much too late.
I feel so bad for Topher. The poor kid. Also, let's consider that this was someone who wanted to do a show for kids, but meticulously worked in an actual heart made of paper mache to put in Mr. Bones' chest. What kind of person? Seriously. Also, yeah, there's still fighting sounds, so obviously there's still something alive. That's what it is. Picnic basket procedures. Item to be stored in black rock paneled cell. Keep away from lab animals when not in use. A simple wicker basket with cloth lining. No food items inside. The item produces a hypnotic effect that solely affects non-human animals, forcing them to congregate passively around the object. Animals from every genus and species that have thus far been tested are susceptible. Single-cell organisms do not appear to react to the effect. Item was taken to a forest upstate for testing. Results of the test provided contradicting data, as some of the attracted animals exhibited hyper-aggressive behavior. The exercise unfortunately resulted in, probably death. Further testing should be restricted to more low-risk animal species with medical staff on standby. Why would you test this on super wild, creepy animals? Or super wild, I don't know. There is no animal that's creepy. Except humankind. Okay, so where's my... Oh! Is that it? Oh. I think that's the... Oh, God. Jesus, that scared me. Gross near the pit. Oh, there. Probably. Yes. There.
This looks like a good one.
Look. Balloon procedures. Item must... Oh! Did we see that? I think we saw that already. Item must be kept away from animals. The cell must be regularly cleaned of the black substance the item produces. All cleaning tools must be along with the black substance itself. Item is a novelty balloon made of silver mylar. On its face is a colorful message to get well, surrounded by cartoon hearts. A ribbon is attached to the balloon. Item has not stopped floating after a considerable amount of time in the bureau, which suggests it does not hover through the use of helium. The item produces a dark-colored sticky substance which drips down its ribbon. I think we read a report about it where I think a dog was killed. Is there someone here? No. Okay. Huh. Anything here? It's so smart that they made these panels where you see it goes up into the house. You can't go there, it's too high. But it's like, there's something more, like, you probably, if you could fly right through, you probably end up in the astral plane. I don't even think there is a ceiling or anything.
You look like a woman with mold for me.
Yes!
I found all 5, but I kind of wanted to eat them.
The mold has that effect on some people. Likely due to the fact it's not actually mold or even of this dimension. I suspect it is the result of 2 incompatible molecular structures, one dominant, coming into contact. I call it mold or fungus because it's closer in appearance and behavior than anything else we know. Except perhaps bacteria.
She reminds me of my old biology teacher.
Did you happen to meet any more members of my ranger detail?
I didn't see any rangers. Just walking mold people. Unless...
Yes. If you found mold people, you found my rangers. I refer to the creatures as hosts. They, like other unwary agents, succumbed to the appetite.
Ooh.
But that's nothing for you to worry about. The pill I'm about to make with these samples will make the lower level perfectly safe to traverse. It has the added benefit of immunizing you against the pit's toxic spores.
Feels like
good,
we should
I
ask to
guess.
see her credentials.
There. That didn't take too long now, did it? Ingest this pill, then go and find the source of the mold. Only there can we begin to understand how to stop it.
Take a mystery pill because a rude lady in a hazmat suit tells you to. Great idea, Jesse.
Ugh. Honestly, did you want me to wrap it in cheese?
Not the taste, the smell. It stinks in here now.
Good. That means the pill is working. The worse it smells, the safer you'll be. Now go. Find the source.
Okay, so the thing is,
Thanks for the information.
My pleasure. Back to it then.
this might be too tall an order for me at this point of the game. I will try it once, see how I'll fare, and maybe then I will just run away, like, you know, shamefully run away. Because, yeah, oh, they're back? Damn. You come here, weirdos. Oh, shit. Oh, that's it? Okay. Ooh, that was bad. Let's go here and get some energy. Ew, why would I want to be here? This is so uninviting. I would be this is just so scary. Everything's exploding here and weird and gross. Ugh.
Ramsey, Ranger Captain, note 7.25. Underhill sent us down this weird-ass threshold looking for whatever's making all these vegetables sprout. I will say this, it smells delicious.
Ew. Ramsey, don't! No! Eat a cookie!
God. The further I go, the worse it smells.
It's so tight in here, you know? And there's so many directions from which these things can come from. Why is it still on? What's preparing to attack me? Okay, sorry. I think I was just hugging the microphone. Getting a little bit too close to the microphone. I'm sorry. I hate this area. I mean, the black quarry at least is awe-inspiring. It's so beautiful, but this is just horrible and gross. Oh, let's clear this.
Ramsey, Ranger Captain, note 7.28. Wait, 6, 7, whatever. Still in the threshold. I'll just eating the vegetables now, because why not? Mom said, eat your vegetables. Eat too many and your skin will turn green. Green like Ollie's. Hey, Ollie, what'd you find now?
Oh, that's... Oh my god, look at that. Ew. Creepy. Okay. So they ate the mold, and then they turned... I probably just killed them. What's this? Also, look at this. It's truly creepy. Okay, so we do this once, and then I'll give up, because this is a hard fight. I don't like it. Yeah, also, sorry, spoiler alert, this is a fight now. And it's really, I don't know, I can't figure it out. It's...
Is that the source? It's... kind of pretty.
Nope. Not really.
I don't know how to do it. That's just the thing. I don't know how to do it. There's a certain art to it, and I haven't figured it out yet. I thought it would help if I would just protect myself with the stones and everything, but apparently no. Also because it seems like this enemy doesn't drop any health points, so I can't regenerate in the middle of it.
Is that the source? It's kind of pretty. Not pretty.
I did it! How? Wow!
I need to stop being surprised by all the weird shit.
I did it! That's amazing! Holy shit. Wow. Okay, so that's it? Nothing... Anything to explore? This is so exciting! I don't even remember if I actually ever did this. Oh. Nice. Number 3, right?
Oh, need more.
Oh, Ramsey. No.
Oh, so good. Oh, need more.
That's super sad. And super gross. But is it really... I mean, I'm not quite sure how much it hurts when you then turn into the mold. Maybe it's not that bad. Dr. Underhill! I have so many things to tell you.
You've returned, I
yes.
see. And you're not sprouting mold from your eyes. I take it that means my pill works.
Yes.
Now tell me everything. Did you find the source? You did, didn't you?
I found a big angry plant. Like, gigantic. I killed it.
You killed it! You found the source and you killed it! I could have learned so much from a live specimen.
Her concern is touching. Really, it's too much.
Here, I brought you a sample.
A piece of the innermost mold. You're not such a lost cause after all. Strange. So different, even superficially. Another stage of growth, perhaps.
Please, no more stages.
You'll be pleased to know that cutting down the creature at the source has already resulted in a notable cessation of the mold's rapid growth. You've bought me time for further study.
So what now?
I'm glad you asked. While you were busy in the pit, a number of mold hosts were sighted beyond the threshold. They managed to sneak out without the rangers noticing. There's a reason I didn't send Steve and Andy to find the mold source with the others. These vagrant hosts must be eradicated as soon as possible. The mold can still be spread by their overgrown bodies.
Any idea where they went?
The hosts I've observed are not a sprightly bunch. Here are the reports I've received. They'll help you find them.
I'll go take care of them.
So they're bigger
Good.
than the others?
And do be quick about it.
There's a nice way to say that.
Ew.
Thanks for the information.
My pleasure.
Yeah, let's do this. It's all in this section, so that's cool, I think. So it's just normal mold people, but it sounds like they're bigger than the others that we encountered so far. I'm kind of scared. Oh yeah, also, we're in the research sector. There's at least one hidden room. we can go to here. So while we're at it... Oh, look at that! Is that where you are? That's where I wanted to go. What a coincidence!
One of those mold hosts.
Oh shit. Wait. Oh, now we can go in. No. Anything else here? It's so dark. What's with the noise? What is this? Oh shit. Oh! Oh, a coin! That's cool. Oh. Ooh. Did not like that he looked so much like a human still. Okay. Wait, there's more mold holes in... Oh, I thought it was just one each. I know, maybe we'll do that then in the next episode. Okay. Look at this. Getting to secret places. And there's, one more. Oh, you. Ugh. One of those again. Oh, well, same old, same old. Okay. This is the same room we saw downstairs. That's why I was so confused when we actually went there, because I remembered that this was up here. Wait, where am I? Where am I? Is that the track list? My sister lives in Glasgow, Magenta. On Sunday, elevators tip me over. Salmon soup, torpedo sauces, one happy philosopher. Huh. Oh. It's really weird. Really weird. I hope there's no mole man in Dr. Casper Darling's office. Behave yourself. Okay. Good. Have I been here? No. Oh, that is so cool. I don't think I've been here before. Exciting. Darling, Underhill disagreement. Oh, yes! Dear Dr. Darling, I feel I must inform you of the very questionable documentation I'm seeing from Underhill's desk. She clearly has no concept of what the mold is. She claims there are microorganisms responsible for constructing the mold. Ridiculous. It's a rapidly growing fungus, not dissimilar to kudzu. She's fabricating complexity to justify her absurd budget demands. Speaking of which, I find it interesting that an old friend of yours gets her budget approved with no questions asked. I wonder if the Operations Oversight Committee would be interested to learn of that. Yours in estimation, Dr. Abraham Lewis. Well, Dr. Lewis, you should calm your tits, because blackmail like this, or implied blackmail, never works. It always backfires. Also, from what I know from Dr. Underhill, she's not someone to make something more complicated just for complication's sake. It's so cool that I can now be here without getting like severely hurt. Okay. Oh shit! Oh no! Oh, this is horrible! It's so many! It's so many! Jesus! And apparently they don't even have anything to do with the remote removal. Jesus Christ. I can't talk. There's still more? Oh my god. Wow. Had nothing to do with the mold removal. That was just an accident. Okay. Hammer procedures. Per Archival Mandates 8A, this document has been edited to meet current administrative standards. Certain terminology may be out of date. No method for suppressing the item's thaumaturgical effect is yet known. To prevent infection, wear proper safety gloves when handling. The item is a wooden mallet from a high striker carnival game. A long wooden handle extends from the head. The item infects any organic material with an unknown disease upon making physical contact. The effects of this disease are similar to leprosy, but develop at a much faster rate. Within a matter of days, tissue loss develops in the limbs closest to the point of infection. While the disease itself has not claimed any lives, secondary infection has resulted in numerous deaths. Ew! That is one of the worst objects we've encountered so far. Just leprosy, but make it worse? No, thank you, sir. Okay. This was a cool, but incredibly horrible room. But wasn't there? Yeah, there's another one. Well, let's blast our way into this room. There you go. Oh. Okay. Cool it, Casper. Panic attack.
It's done. It's just one large-scale HRA. It's an easy choice, no choice. It's there now. Protecting the most important thing from what's coming. I'll be there inside. Locked in. Ready to be blown away. Ready for the journey. To be bold and flying into the world. Ready to see.
Is that Odyssey 2001?
To understand.
Okay, Emily Pope already hinted that there would have been more HRAs to save a bigger aspect of the Bureau, but that was used for something that Dr. Darling was working on. And that's where he is currently, or already blown to bits. So that's the story part. The other part is, damn, it must have been really some kind of feat to set up the scene so you can't really see any private things from Matthew Porretta. I remember reading that he actually had, he could choose which kind of underwear he wants to wear. And I get the shorts were the best. And also, Simon Arish hinted at that the last time he saw Casper Darling was when he kind of like tore his clothes off, which is probably like a panic attack thing, you know, when you feel like you're getting hot and everything and you need to get rid of your clothes. That's so, yeah. He was drinking, he was having panic attacks. He knew what was coming, so, and I guess he tried everything, but realized that maybe it was because he didn't know that Jesse would come to, to save everyone. I'm not quite sure whether I ever found this in any of my previous playthroughs, so cool. Also, like, that was some nice angles on Dr. Casper dying. Thank you, Matthew Peretta, for that gift.
What do you know about Dr. Darling?
Is he single?
About as much as anybody, I guess. Had to research.
Where? What was that noise? Did I just hear that? Okay, so that's the second host. It's too much happening at once. You know what? I don't think I will do the mold thingy just now because it's kind of one of those just running around and killing people. I will do that when I'm not recording, and then I will record the results if there's maybe a cool communication with Dr. Underling. I think that's the best way to go forward. Also, yes. Is that mold? Ah! Oh, Jesus. Dude, you scared me! Also, sorry that you're dead. The Tennyson Report! Yes! So sad, so strange, the days that are no more. For years, the Federal Bureau of Control has been wrongfully forcing a philosophy upon itself and its people. This philosophy is known to you all as science. We all realize that the concepts we explore here are mystic ones, with arcane thinking required to understand them, yet we insist on using words like paranatural and para-utilitarian to create the illusion of a scientific structure, a tidy little system. The Bureau is desperate to stand with a close-minded cult of logic and data that has overrun our society. If a thing cannot be quantified, then we dismiss it outright. We live in an age that is openly hostile to faith in the veiled forces governing our reality. I must remain anonymous for fear of reprisal from the anti-esoteric bureaucrats watching us from their plush offices. Those same bureaucrats, Strange and Darling chief among them, have been steering us away from the Bureau's arcane foundations for decades now. It is time we corrected course. If you stand with me, share this message. We are not alone. So there is an argument between some of them, that the Bureau started as somewhat of a magical, department. It makes sense. Personally, I'm a woman of science, and I would always believe that you can even magic in some way explain through science. That's just my line of thinking, really. Because here's the thing, science goes with rules. And even magic has rules. That rituals are based on rules and certain things, how you have to do a thing. And the why that's not usually explained with magic. It's like, well, you just do the thing, just do the ritual, that just stand in front of the mirror and say Bloody Mary 3 times. Or, do the Ouija board and always say goodbye. And the why is usually not that much explained. And science does the same, but asks the why. So it can explain the things and can reason why you have to do certain things and whether you really have to do them. So I think they belong together, and any philosophy that's like, no, it's just arcane magic, whatever, it has nothing to do with science, no, throw that person out. Like, I would be mad as hell. I would be super angry with someone, writing this kind of bullshit. What? That's not a medical cell, that's like a prison cell.
Mark Gibson, male, age 28, returned from the astral plane approximately 13 minutes ago. This was his 21st dive. Patient is experiencing migraine-like pain, intense pressure behind the eyes, and partial blindness. He has no recollection of his time in the astral plane and appears severely disoriented. Preliminary examination revealed no immediate cause, so we will be sending the patient for x-rays and... What the fuck is that thing? Something goes right out of him. Call Black! Get Marshall!
Oh, that's when the astral spike burst out of him. Because they said someone returned, didn't feel so well, and then the astral spike appeared. Because it hid in the person, which is so creepy and cool. So good. So good. Oh! Hey! That is so rude. Ah! Look at this! Oh my god, that's fantastic. Oh, that's so cute. You know what? They should have this picture on here and then his life is in your hands. Mirror supplement. Wait, no, I don't wanna... She was admitted to a mental ward for emotional instability soon after relocating to Illinois with her family in 1914. The item only appears on record again in 2006 when the Bureau investigated a sudden rise in disappearances in, Illinois. Agents found the item hanging in the local library. Who hangs a mirror in a library? That's weird. Come to think of it, I don't think I've ever seen a mirror in a library. Like, why would you want to see yourself in a library? Like, nerd. Oh, no way, that's me. But also, mirrors in general in public buildings are super weird. That's... the one exception, weirdly, is elevators. And of course bathrooms, but that's something different. Okay. Agents found the item hanging in the local library. They contained it quickly, though the missing people of the town were never recovered. We certify that the case of Mrs. has shown her to be a lunatic under the reasons of hysteria, bad company, and imaginary female trouble. Oh, from 1915. Her fixation with the family looking glass is noteworthy, though not an uncommon matter when considering the female disposition. Mrs. Carver is a fit subject for the lunatic asylum and will remain in its confines until her affliction has passed. Signed, Dr. Victorian Mirror. Acquisition date 2005. Damn. I'm just looking for the next checkup point. That's when I will... Oh. No. I don't want to yet go to the Prime Candidate program. So, we're ending to the episode here. And in the next episode, we're going to look for the... candidate program to find out more about Dylan and us, you know, Jesse's fate, and I think a lot more about Ordinary, and maybe even some more about the stuff that the Dr. Darling videos already hinted at. So we're slowly coming towards the finale of the game, but it still has a lot more to offer when it comes to side missions and other stuff. So I think this will take a few more episodes until we're really done. And then we also have the DLCs, which I'm looking forward to because I have not played those yet. And I hope that will further build the story in the world that has been established here, and also maybe hint at a sequel, because I think this universe is so ripe for sequels, and because it plays in the same universe as Alan Wake, for example, I think it also works if you have a sequel that's not necessarily like this game, but maybe more like Alan Wake or whatever, but plays with the same rules and maybe even has some of the same characters. Like, that could be super cool. Anyways, yeah, I hope you had fun, as usual. You can leave your comments, your theories, no spoilers please for everyone who, you know, hasn't watched the game fully, doesn't know what really is going to happen. I try to do this commentary as spoiler-free as possible. Sometimes I'm a little bit confused of what I already saw or talked about in the game and what is still to come, because I played this game a couple of times before. I hope I'm not spoiling too much. Sometimes I might be too careful and not talk about things that have already been established, but we'll come to the point where it's very clear, and then I will probably talk more about it. That sounded confusing, but it will make sense at some point, hopefully. But yeah, other than that, your theories, what you really liked about it, if you found something or saw something that I didn't pick up on, just tell me in the comments. You can also subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet so far. Control is more an aberration of me playing games on this channel, because usually I play a lot of indie horror games, especially the shorter ones. But now and then I actually like a longer one that's more AAA-ish. And so this is currently Control, and we'll see what I will play after that. But in between, I usually play indie horror games. That's basically my jam. And I mean, Control is not indie horror, but it has horror elements in there. There's also science fiction elements, so I'm really into that kind of stuff, like, you know, Fringe and X-Files and stuff. So if you enjoy that and you have not yet subscribed, subscribe. Or don't. Do what you want to do. I hope you had a good time. I hope you have a wonderful day, and maybe see you soon. Bye-bye. This is my self-recorded outro song, so I don't get hit with copyright claims. If you subscribe to a lot of fun tutorials, reviews, and let's plays.